Hold a gun against my head and paint a wall with my brain. It's probably the most disturbing line in Fight Club, and it might be the most accurate description of transformation ever written into a Hollywood film. Hear me out here. Fight Club gets read as nihilism, anti-capitalism, toxic masculinity. It's basically for many a parable about IKEA furniture and white-collar despair. And that's all correct. I don't argue with that. And still, they all miss what's actually underneath. Because there's an idea so old that humans have rediscovered it in every era, every culture, and every century. And it goes something like this. You can't become who you actually are until something in you dies first. The Sufis called it fana. The Buddhists called it the Great Death. And Christian mystics built a whole symbol system around the cross. And Carl Jung called it individuation, and Joseph Campbell called it the belly of the white whale. Therapists today call it ego dissolution. Now go back to the line. Hold the gun against my head and paint the wall with my brain. That's not a death threat. That's a description of becoming. The brain on the wall isn't your body. It's your constructed self, your name, your resume, your relationship, your Instagram bio. It's the eternal monologue that won't shut up. The story your parents started writing about you before you could even speak. Everyone who's ever genuinely changed, and I mean really changed, not just rebranded, has had to splatter that thing somewhere and look at it without flinching. And here's where Fight Club becomes weirdly profound. The narrator spends the entire movie unconsciously building Tyler Durden, okay? A shadow self. The version of him that does what the polite version can't. Jung had a name for this. It was called the shadow. And the part of you that gets exiled by your conscious identity, the hunger, the rage, the appetite, the truth. Tyler isn't a hallucination. He's the return of everything the narrator killed off to be acceptable. And in the final scene, the narrator puts a gun in his own mouth and pulls the trigger. He shoots himself in the cheek. Tyler dies, the narrator wakes up. That's not a plot twist to me. That's the entire pattern of human transformation compressed into 2 minutes of cinema. The death of the constructed self reveals the real one. The buildings fall. He holds Mahler's hand and the pixies start playing. And he's finally awake. Tyler Durden thought he was a nihilist, when in reality I believe he was a little bit more something like a midwife. And David Fincher was making an anti-consumerist thriller when in reality he made a transformation film disguised as a fight movie. It's because every person who watches it on some level recognizing their own work, the thing they keep running from, the version of themselves they need to splatter on a wall before they can finally show up as who they actually are. Because the gun was always pointed at your ego. The wall was always going to be painted. And the only question is whether you do it on purpose or you wait for life to do it to you.